It's fabulous to see some of our members and friends here and also see some new faces in the room. If you're not familiar with the Chamber, we're a group of local business people who volunteer our time to support, promote and connect local businesses. There's around 120 local businesses that are now members of the Chamber. We have lots of events coming up. We're a very active organisation and we offer great networking and promotion opportunities for businesses. Plus we have lots of fun. It's a really, really good bunch of people. So we're really excited tonight to bring you AWESTRUCK, to be able to offer this to the businesses and also our broader community, because Adam's message doesn't just relate to your work life, it also relates to your personal life. And he is truly amazing, so we're all in for a treat.
So where did the wonder go? No, really, where is it? Is it overseas awaiting your next visit? Or is it the face you make when you taste the exquisite? Or is it an exhibit at the MCA on display for all those who come and go? Where did the wonder go? Is it trapped in a time treasured tenderly only to eventually fade into memory? Or is it your 5-year-old self desperately saying, do you remember me? Do you? Or maybe it's therapy, a remedy for all the BS we undergo. Where did the wonder go? We can search for it, we can seek solutions to restore it so we can all share and pay it forward. And what if I told you I captured it? I took it home, repackaged it as riddle, rhyme and magic trick on a quest to shift paradigms, rewrite the narrative. Would that ignite your curiosity? Honestly, I want to know. Where did the wonder go? Let's find out. Lewis Carroll, in his Wonderland, dreamt up 6 impossible things before breakfast. And this evening, we're going to unpack 6 different tools that you can all use to restore wonder in your day-to-day lives so the magic of the evening can continue long after we depart, right? My name's Adam. I'm addicted to awe. I'm a wonder dealer. I'll be dishing out the good stuff tonight. But before we get into it, what is wonder? What is awe? Why do we need them? Why are they so hard to get? How can we capture it? How can we explore more of it? Because we know it's the best feeling, right? So let's start with awe. Awe can be described as an experience that impacts us with such intensity that it leaves a crater behind, right? It is something that forces us to challenge the way we think about the world. It disrupts our normalities. So awe is something we're struck by. And look at other things we're struck by. We can be struck by lightning, struck by a projectile. We can be love-struck, star-struck, awe-struck, something that hits us and shakes our world. Whereas wonder, on the other hand, wonder's a little bit more delicate. And I like to say that wonder is the wow before the how. And it's just that feeling you get of the spectacle hitting you before your rational brain starts thinking, oh, I'm going to Google that. And we've got so many answers at our fingertips, but I think the real beauty is the not knowing and the hope and the potential that can come from that. So we're going to unpack a few of these ideas this evening. I'm excited to do it, but before we do, I've got a video I want to show you. We went out into the streets, Piermont Harbour, I was on the bridge a couple of years ago working with a mental health initiative, another Mosman boy, you might recognise Mitch in the video, and we bumped into some strangers and we were seeing how wonder, awe, this feeling could affect people. And there are literally studies being done on how wonder and awe can affect PTSD, how we can use this as a remedy to overcome past trauma and depression. So it's not all just fun and games, there's some real work here. But I want to show you this clip, and while we're doing this, it's only 2 minutes, I want you to look at this reaction and I want you to think back to the last time you felt this way, the last time maybe you shared an experience with someone and that emotion trickled back into your lives. 3 of hearts. No. Come back, Russ, come back. If we've got your card here signed, I'm going to tuck this here for a second. We'll get back to that. We'll just leave that. So this must mean that the card I had, the 3 of hearts, maybe that's the one that you're holding now. You want to have a look? Have a look. Piece at a time. Let's see. You got all 4 pieces? 4 pieces of the 3 of hearts. Now look, this is it. Now, the cards, they switched places, but the tear, the break, the vulnerability, it stayed in your hands. I want you to give it another squeeze and squeeze it tight. And don't worry about actually squeeze. And while you do this, I want you to think about that special person in your life who's always been there for you, all right? Okay. And imagine the strength it takes to look after yourself, let alone someone else. I want you to feel the gratitude for that. Yeah. Look at me, think about this person. Is this Georgia? This Georgia? Really? Who's Georgia? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
My wife.
It's your wife. While you were thinking about her, look what happened to the playing card.
Things will be the same. I can't do this, no, 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 no. Won't you let me go, go, go.
Why do we lose it? So I like to say that wonder is like the romance between us and our lives. And I think we all can relate to some extent that if you don't actively work at your romance, it fades. It feels almost unreachable. And this is us, wonder, with our lives, our own experience is the romance between us and ourselves. And we've got this ability to develop new ideas and we seek out new opportunities. We're always like pushing the edges. Not every one of us, but en masse as a whole, we do. We push out into new experiences. And this numbs our ability to feel the wonder of something new. This is the first time I've been in this building, right? It was Jesse played games in here as a kid, right? Where I'm like walking in and I'm enamored with the beauty, the stained glass windows, the attention to detail. Though you come here every day and that fades, and this is because of hedonic adaptation. And it's an experience where we are forced in our own genetics to be bored rapidly and seek new things so we can be on to new adventures. And we process this by skipping through 6-second videos that just annihilate our receptors. And we're like, right, new. And we're constantly digesting and consuming our culture rather than creating more of it, realizing that the real wonder is an inch above our screen, right? So the more we actually start pushing back into it and creating our own ideas, our own things, our own concepts, well, this is one of them. So this is to create novelty. Create novelty. So by creating novel things in the world, then we actively are putting back into the pool of new stuff. And the wonder begins to seep back through. So we're going to do this for real. There's nothing more novel in my world of expertise than one of these. They say after 20 turns of a Rubik's Cube, you end up with something that's truly unique. Just 20 turns, you end up with something that's never existed before. We probably haven't got the skill set all the time right now to solve one of these, but we definitely have the time and skills to mix a solved one, create something truly novel. And this is what we're going to do. And I'll explain how. I'm going to mix it for you, but it will be your input. So you can choose a side, top, bottom, front, back, left or right. And you can choose a number, 1, 2, or 3. That's how many times I'll turn it. So it could be top 1 or 2 on the left. It could be right 3 or 1 at the bottom. We could go 1, 2 at the front or 1 at the back. We even got middle. It's horizontal or vertical. So it's all going to be in your hands and we're going to have a little play. And you, sir, you can kick us off. What side and how many?
Middle 3.
Middle 3. Do you want to go horizontal or vertical? Vertical. 1, 2, and 3. Brilliant start. How about you?
Twice on the left.
Twice on the left. Getting it mixed, I like it. Young lad at the back. 1 at the front. Front always gets forgotten, so you got a good brain. Let's have a look. Young lady. Yeah, take the compliment. Yeah. Oh. Twice on the right. 1 and 2. All right, let's keep it rolling. Gentleman at the back. Once on the left. And as you can see, every single mix and every single small contribution, as tiny as it might be, is mapping out into something unique as we work together and you get the metaphor. I don't need to keep going into it. Get a couple more mixes. Lady in a colourful outfit there. Top 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's get a couple more in this mix. And let's have a little look around. Hello, you volunteered. Sure, let's go. What do you want? What did you like at the bottom? 3 on the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. Cheeky. All right, let's keep it going. And a couple more. You can help me out, my tech advisor. That is you. Yeah.
I think I'll do middle, bottom.
Middle. So you want to go,
Right, please.
and you want to turn it. How many times?
3 times.
1, 2. I'm going to unscrew it. Yeah. 3. And let's go one more. You, sir?
Bottom 4.
4.
To the left.
I don't want to explain the dynamics of a square. 1, 2, or 3?
Do it 4.
4? Okay. Well, there we go. Cool. I think we did, yeah, that's just like electing new officials. Yeah, it looks like something changed, but nothing really did. Let's keep going. All right, and actually there was one young lady who has been entrusted not only with pouring drinks this evening, but with a mystery package. Do you have that package on you? And did anyone ask you why you have this conspicuous red package? Oh, so people are far too trusting, okay. The reason I've given you that is because I do want you to make the final choice. So I just want to let you know, the last decision you make, it's all on you. And if this doesn't work out, what I'm trying to hope to demonstrate to everybody, no pressure, no stress, you know, it's all good. We've still got a whole show ahead, it's fine. It's just the beginning sequence, it's all good. Plus I chose you anyway, so it's all on me. What side and how many?
Back two.
Back two. And we can all relax, take a sigh of relief because prediction complete, we didn't solve it, right? Yeah, mentalism. I didn't want to solve it. I didn't want to create a solved one. You can buy them like that. I wanted to create something novel, something truly unique. And I did promise you that when you create novelty, wonder begins to seep back in. In fact, I showed you novelty at the start. Let's have a little look, something like this. And my goal was to see if we could find something that matched, right? Now look, it is just one side on a cube. I mean, you mixed the cube. I mean, two sides would be a little bit better, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? How about this? What if it was three sides on a Rubik's Cube that matched, or 4, 5, 6 sides? You guys did this, which means it's your applause cue for yourself. Yeah. But it doesn't stop there. I'm going to keep this in full view because there's been a journey that happened today. I think that's an introduction. Do you want to come and help us out? Give her a round of applause, guys. Woo! All right, all right about over here. This is where we get to see what kind of unwrapper you are. Are you a tidy, neat, reuse it unwrapper, or are you going to get amongst it? Get amongst it. Let's go. Rip it open, okay? Awesome. Now let's take this apart. I'm going to put this over here, get the mess out. Do you want to just pop that out of it? I'm going to lift that, that's it, and take that cube out. And I'll take this for you. And you've got one cube there, right? Mix, you've had that in your possession the whole time. What I would like, with your left hand, so we can mirror each other, I would like your finger at the top and your thumb at the bottom. That's it, just like a little planet in orbit, because I've got that side too. And what happens is, as we mix this, with your other hand, let's turn it. That's 2 sides on a cube. That's 3 sides, right? Let's get a 4th side too. Come on, let's show them where your fingers are, all the way up the top. And last but not least, this back side. Come on, that's 6 sides. Give her a round of applause. You made this happen. Thank you. I appreciate it. Actually, I want you right here, because one of the hardest things to do with these things is solve it. And they do say that it takes 20 turns to make something truly unique, but only 20 turns to solve a cube from any position. It's got to be a supercomputer to know which position. How's your supercomputing going?
Terrible.
Is it? I can relate. Would you do me the honor of just taking a small step to right about there? And what I'd like to show you is, in a minute, I'm going to give this to you, and you're going to place it behind your back. And as you do, I want you to take it in your hands, and I want you to just turn the cube like I am. Can you see the way I'm using both my hands to make sure this is thoroughly turned over and over again? And this is exactly all I want you to do. And while you're doing that, just imagine that you are solving it. Can you do that for me? Of course, very ambitious. So just hand behind your back. And now this is the focus, because if we can get this working, just in your hand like so, and just turning it gently, just how we did. And do you want to pick a number between 1 and 10?
7.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. All right, so you've got the skills. You've got the skills. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Oh, look, this is it. We love this. The impossible can be possible. And I said, if you create novelty, wonder will trickle back in, right? Yeah, she deserves that. She deserves it. Of course, as a magician, we have some other methods, which can be a little bit more rapid fire. But we'll just skip past those, because I've got more wonder to dish out, and I think we should dive straight in. But here's an idea. Here's a concept. Here's something we can wrap our minds around. And it is that you are the universe expressing itself. Before we wrap our head around this, I want to make the distinction between knowing and realizing, because we use these words interchangeably, but there's a big difference. To know is knowledge by description. We're taught the lessons, we go to the lectures, we listen to the audiobooks, and we learn, we take it in. And then to realize, to make real, is knowledge by acquaintance. So we absorb lessons from our direct experience. We integrate them into our mental models of the world. You have to go there to know there. And there's a subtle difference, but it is profound, because look at the things we know. We know that the human brain is the most densely complex creation in our known universe. 14 billion years in the making. We know it. Yeah, I know that one. No big deal. We know that we are made of atoms that were forged in the furnace of dying stars. We know this, and we're just like casually paying our bills and getting on with it. We know this. What would happen if we realized it? Do you think we'd be just satisfied with being a passenger on this journey? No, we'd step up into the pilot seat. We'd take control. We'd no longer be a character trapped within the narrative of the script. We would be the author, and we would literally write whatever life story we desire. And when we take authorship, it means that we have the freedom to do things like improvise our story. We can flow through life, and we can choose to make decisions. If you want to get paranoid, write your own story, or you become a character in someone else's. All right, sounds pretty harrowing. I took this a little bit too literally recently. I wrote a book. It's called Riddle and Rhyme. It is a book of rhyme and riddles that they break down words that I feel have got misdirection, words that have multiple meanings. We're going to jump into this in a minute, but before we do, I need a little bit of an input. There are 52 in there, and I'm going to ask this young lad. What's your name? Jesse. Nice to meet you. I'm Adam. Pleasure to meet you. How old are you? 10. So the age where magic is still very much abundant, okay? I'm jealous. All right. Your world is probably more magical than mine. I try so hard. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 52. Have you got one? Loud and clear, what is it? What? Loud and clear, what number? 34. Do you want to make your way up to a round of applause? I've got a book for you, okay? All right. So I'm going to give this to you, and I want you to just have a little look through and stand in the middle, because all of these people are here for you, Jesse, okay? Just about here. And I want you to go and find your page. And the real riddle is, while we were watching a little video earlier, I wrote a word down, and I wrote one of the answers to one of these riddles. I wasn't entirely sure if we'd get the right one chosen, but in a minute, all of you will be on board with that. So let's leave that here. Now, Jesse, have you got that riddle? Do you want to, I'll tell you what, you can always share my mic. Are you confident to read that out?
Yeah.
Loud and clear, what is it?
I grow in the dark and shrink in the light. I learn in the day and study at night.
I grow in the dark and shrink in the light. I learn in the day and study at night. Now here's the real riddle. I showed these guys an answer before you read that out. Have you got an idea what the answer might be? Should we get
With the first two lines, it could be a shadow, but that doesn't work for the
It doesn't work for the next line. You're smart. I like it. On the count of 3, if you've got an idea what the answer could be, I want you to shout it out. 1, 2, 3. Pupil, right? See, I wrote this down before you even told me which riddle you wanted to choose. This is the riddle in and of itself. Now listen, I would like you to take this as a small gift. Would you enjoy going through that? Yeah? Mm-hmm. You think you have some fun? All right, well, go on, give them a round of applause. I want you to take a seat. Thank you. Pupil. I grow in the dark, shrink in the light, learn in the day, and study at night. So with this in mind, I'm going to create a little game of improvisation as we flow through different meanings of different words. And I do have a goal in mind, and I'm going to go... Okay, let's see how we go. Leave this here for a minute. Now, how these riddles work, as we sort of break it, I'm actually going to prime you for a little bit of free thinking improv right now. What they do is they break down words that have multiple meanings, like the word fine, for example. We just use it every day. But fine could mean okay. Fine could mean intricate. Fine could mean gorgeous. Fine could mean penalty payment. That's right. So you've got all these different meanings for the same 4-letter word, and it's not even a good 4-letter word, it's just a regular one. So I've got a few of these riddles we're going to break down together. I'm a period of time, an incantation. Recite the right letters in correct formation. Any takers? Spell. And it is spelled because A spell is a period of time, right? A dizzy spell, a busy spell, a dry spell, a warm spell. Then we have an incantation, which is a linguistic formula which we can impose upon the world to try and have our own majestical authorship over it. Then, of course, we've got recite the right letters in correct formation. Shall I spell that out for you? Let's do a few more. This one. Through rivers and wires, I fluctuate. I flow, I'm amped, I'm up to date. If you've got it and you want to shout it out, hold it in for a few seconds while people process. Has anybody got an idea? Electricity feels to make sense for now, but through rivers. What is it, guys? Current, of course, because current flows through rivers, it flows through wires, it flows. Amps are a measurement of current, and what can be more up to date than a current event? So while we're here, being an author, I want to try a little bit of that right now. We're going to continue this. I've primed your brain with the ability to make huge leaps of association, and we're going to play with that. We have a prediction here, but we're going to work with it. So I want to take note of this as we go. We're going to begin with a word, and that word is spaceship. And if anyone else wants to take note of this, please feel free. There'll be another opportunity to involve your devices in a little while. Spaceship. Spaceship, which makes you think of? Outer space. So spaceship makes you think of space? Okay. One small step. How about you, sir? Space makes you think of? Gentleman with the glasses. Space makes you think of? Mars. Okay. All right. Well, then we've got a few potential leaps here. Okay. Mars makes you think of? That would be. We're on Mars now. Chocolate. Yeah, now we're talking. All right. Chocolate. Woo! Okay, how about you? Chocolate makes you think of what? Chocolate makes you think of?
Lollies.
Lollies, okay, we can keep going. All right, let's go. Lollies makes you think of?
Space makes me think of Elon Musk.
It does. We will rewind the tape and insert that later on, but we are on lollies right now, my dear. So let's not get on Elon's level right now. Too many potentials. Lollies makes you think of? Pink. All right, good word. I like it. We're going to keep flowing. And the lady in pink. Pink makes you think of? Roses. Okay. Beautiful. You are making the world vibrant. It's beautiful. Okay, let's keep it flowing. A couple more. Gentlemen, right in the back corner. Roses make you think of? Gardens. Yeah. Garden, amazing, and I want your help. Garden makes you think of? Work. Not fun. And okay, let's see. We're almost there. You sir, you got a big smile. I love it. Work makes you think of? Fun. This is the spirit. And you sir, fun makes you think of? Motorcycles. Okay. Motorcycles makes you think of?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, we're almost there. This is worth it in and of itself, okay? And Brad Pitt makes you think of? Movies? Okay, I love this, okay? We made it happen, and we can go for it. And what I like about this situation is we can actually run a few ways. If we have a little look, we can actually go backwards and forwards through this. So we started, we'll go backwards, and when you hear yours, just like, yep, so you know that you contributed. Movies. Yeah. Their movies make me think of Brad Pitt. All right. Brad Pitt makes me think of motorcycles. Yeah, we got it. Okay, motorcycle make me think of fun. Yeah, fun makes you think of work. Work makes you think of garden, right? Garden makes you think of roses, makes you think of pink, lollies, chocolate, Mars, space, spaceship. They're all linked. We can go the other way too. Spaceship, space, Mars, chocolate, lollies, pink, roses, garden, work, fun, motorcycles, Brad Pitt, and movies. Thanks so much, team, because when we do work together and we speak our words into existence, we can be the author of our own story. And we just did that together as a team. So no need to hold it in. I think that's pretty astounding, and you did that. Okay. Whew. Wow. So on this topic, as a magician, there's one particular word that pulls me in. It's a wordsmith. It's the same. It's the most magic of the words. You've all heard of it. It's abracadabra. Makes you giggle, doesn't it? I've got a video we created. You might recognize the location. It's just up the road. We did this during the lockdown when we were told that we could no longer be the author of our own story. We had to follow someone else's narrative. We had to play along with the story that was laid out for us so we could all be good characters. And this was a breakdown and an exploration of the fact that we don't have to do that. There are other ways we can approach it. It's only a couple of minutes, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Abracadabra, the magic word. It's actually like 2,000 years old, and it translates to, as I speak, I create. So the words we utter manifest the reality in which we dwell. And I believe in this because we think in language, and our thoughts and our words affect our behavior, which in turn transforms the world around us. And Terence McKenna said the world is made of language, and if we know the words in which the world is made, we can make of it whatever we wish. And what is language but an attempt to communicate? It is linguistic intent, the transfer of information from one place to the next. And we can see this all around us, like even a seed contains the information for the tree that follows. The idea becomes the blueprint becomes the skyscraper. And whether it's the moisturizer on my skin or the ink that dyed this fabric, it is just the externalization of the human mind manifested into three-dimensional space. It's been this way since the beginning of time. In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was God. And we can be like radio DJs, right? And what do we want our audience to listen to? Is it going to be misery and heartache and mindless trash? Or will it be uplifting, soulful inspiration? Eleanor Roosevelt said, small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, and great minds discuss ideas. By focusing on the words and the ideas in which we speak and think, we begin to reveal the magic of our reality. As we speak, we create. Abracadabra. This one I struggle with. Gratitude. Stephen Kotler is one of the world's global experts on human peak experience, peak performance. And there are many ways that we can find our flow state. And sometimes when I'm on stage and the time just goes, it's because I weren't even there, right? Flow is a situation where it comes through us but not from us, and although it is with us, it belongs not to us. Any creatives who wake up at 3 in the morning with a poem or a song or an idea on their mind and feel compelled to put it on a pad, you know that you are not in control of that, it comes through you. But gratitude is one of the ways that we can achieve this, right? One of the ways we can bring this back into our world, bring the wonder back in. And they say, like, every morning, wake up and think of 10 things, and you could thank and write a letter to yourself or write, I am grateful for. And I struggle with it. I struggle with it because it just doesn't feel real enough for me in this current day and age. I don't journal. I barely use a pen. And I found a hack. And I found a hack which gives me 1 minute a day to feel grateful for my existence, maybe 2 minutes, depending. And it's a chance thing as well. It doesn't always happen, but if I look at my watch or my clock or my phone and it is 9:28, for that minute, that is my minute of gratitude, my minute to feel thankful, to be grateful, to feel appreciative. Like I'm thankful for having this opportunity to share with you guys today. It's not even 9:28, and I'm thanking you, right? 9:28 is my birthday, 28th of September, September 28. And for that 1 minute, I can celebrate my existence here on earth. It might be my only life. I don't know if the Buddhists are correct. This might be my only shot. So during this moment, I want all of you to think of your birthday as a minute. So start with the month, that's your hour, and then add the day, that's your minute. And I hope you've all done that right now. Good, because I want to know, what's your birthday minute? What's your time? What's the gratitude time? When is it? 11:06, okay, so your clock comes up 11:06, beautiful. That is your moment. That is your moment to feel grateful, to touch base, to maybe just reach out to someone that you're thankful for. It could be the other way, you know, being grateful outwardly. How about you? Yeah, 8:24, same thing. So you've got morning or evening, okay, yeah, perfect. And let's have a look around. How about you? What's yours? 2:17, okay. So we've all got our opportunity, and we can all stick with that if we wish. And I hope that that resonates with you to some degree, because practicing on a daily basis is difficult, but we all see 11:11 on the clock all the time and think there's some kind of magic happens. What about your time? What about your minute? What about your existence and your gratitude? So we're going to create a time for the whole room, so we have a memory of a shared experience together for what it's worth, and then when this time pops up, we can explore that and share that and remember this moment, hopefully. So as we do this, everybody get an hour in mind, whatever that could be. And I'm going to go, gentleman at the back, what are you at? 8? Okay, wonderful. And everybody get a minute in mind. 59 of them. You got it? Yeah. How about you? What's the minute? 40. Oh, you said 49. You said 4. Okay, so that'd be 8:04. Yeah? Okay. $8:04. Now, this is my pledge right now. If we've got this particular time, this is our opportunity to feel the gratitude every time we see this. Did anybody else have this as their birthday minute? No? So this is truly unique for all of us right here, right now. And here's a little tip. If you've got a broken clock, you can set the broken clock to this time. And that way, not only twice a day will it be right, but it will always remind you of this precise moment, right? This moment of connection. Actually, I did bring a broken clock with me today. And I know it feels a little bit strange saying this, but let's see, I got this. There's no gear in the back, there's no battery, but I did set it to a certain time, and this is why I wanted you to remember it. It's 4 minutes past 8. Be grateful. Oof. Gratitude. And as human beings, right, we are temporally aware. We exist within this concept of time. And it can be a gift and a curse, right? Because on the plus side, we have the capacity to fathom the infinite, to think about eternity, to be like, oh my God, I want to be with you forever. And then we have the other opportunity where we're like aware of our own finite nature, and everything you know and love and care about will eventually cease to be. Yeah? It's all fleeting. So we're on two sides of this coin. And so often, as a result, we spend our todays meticulously planning out our tomorrows, and we spend our todays reflecting on our yesterdays. It's like we missed the point. Yeah. And the Greeks understood there are two ways that we process time. There's kairos and there's chronos. And chronos is like time chronologically, chronometer, chronological, chronos. And that is time measured precise in minutes, seconds, hours, years, millennia. It is the time for deadlines. It's the time for world records. It's the time for being late for the meeting. And then there's the reason why you're late for the meeting. That's kairos, okay? Kairos is time without numbers. Kairos is the forever box of being in the pocket as you're playing music, while I'm up here and I just forget about every single other thing that's happening. We're just here right now. It is time measured in moments, seasons, and eternities. And any of you have ever held hands with someone that you care about deeply on a beach at sunset, and all the numbers drift away? You're in kairos. Any of you are playing as a kid at night and it just never ended, the sun never went down, and you had the best time and it felt like forever. It wasn't forever. In fact, they say eternity is not a long time. Eternity is a moment beyond time. So with that in mind, let's see if we can find the moment, the nexus where kairos and chronos intersect, where we can have precise time measured in moments and seconds, and then we can have the numberless experience of right here, right now. I want you to do this. We're going to do this together. So feel free, if you have a calculator on you, break the unwritten rule of showbiz and get your phone out. Feel free, ignore all of your Tinder requests and all of that and go straight to your calculator. Yeah, got it? I got a big one for you to share, but if there's a few that you can work with, we will do this. All right, we're going to roll with it. We're going to begin with a number. Let's go with 804, because that's important. But what was your number that you said? 49. 49. So we're going to go 80449. That feel random? Yeah. 80449, hit plus. And now we're going to get a few little randoms from the audience. Who's got a kid or a young one or a grown-up young one? Raise your hand. Yeah? We're going to do a string. So let's get 3 of them in total. How old? So we're going to plus 2, 3, and then the next grown. Who else has got a kid? Keep going. Who else? Yeah. How old is yours? 16. So 2, 3, 1, 6, and come on, another one. Who else? Yep. 12, 1, 2. So we're adding this to the previous one. 2, 3, 1, 6, 1, 2. Y'all done that? And we hit equals, and you should all be on 3, 1, 2, 0, 6, 1. We good? Going to hit plus. Now we're going to go for random. We're going to try our luck. Luck is going to play into this in a minute. Would you mind holding up one finger just like so? You're going to tap randomly underneath here. So just facing up towards the sky, we go. Wonderful. Okay, you've added 7 digits in total. Brilliant. This is it. You got the lucky touch. So everybody, please adding on this final digit. That is 1799668. 1799668. You've done that. We can hit equals, and you should all end up with this big number 2111729. We all got it. We're on the same page. Because if you have, I'd like you to screenshot that, because this will help this moment last. Because time slips through our fingers, right? And it had to happen. Because what we're trying to create here is a moment of presence. And if you have a look right now, the number you created, 21, that's today. 11, that's November. And if you look at your clocks, it is 7:29. You did this, guys. You did this. This is your time. This is our time. And this is our reminder to be present. When we are present, the wonder seeps back in. When we're present, the wonder seeps back in. Time. Time is of the essence. There's a time for play, a time for lessons. And there's time precise, minutes, seconds, and time experience, moments, presence. And there's a time for questions like, how long does an hour last? As it slips through our hands like sand in an hourglass. And there's a time for certainty, and a time for urgency, and there's a time beyond time, forever, eternity. And there's a time for others, and then there's me time, the time to pause because you can't rewind. And they say, if you live in the past, time limits your mind. But perhaps time heals. Just give it some time. Give it some time. And as I take my time, you patiently wait for me. Sorry I'm late, but time got away from me. My dad served time. He knows what time cost. And when he came home, we made up for time lost. Because you can spend it, waste it, lend it, or face it, and they say time flies if you embrace it. Just try not to chase it. Although time is of the essence, there's no time quite like the present. We're going to try and be present as much as we can. It can be tricky, it can be tough. And as we sort of journey into these new unknown terrains, one of the ways that I feel that we can really maximize the wonder in our life is one of the big ones. All right, let's look at the start of what we've done. We've looked at creating novelty and being the author. These two things work together. Taking authorship over your own unique creations, your own unique contributions to the world. Then we have to practice gratitude and to be present. And now we're going to move into the big one. Seek adventure. And what is adventure, right? When we look at the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell said that the cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. You've got to go to the place you don't want to go to get the thing that you really do want. And we know this in life, right? And we know that we are our own worst enemy when it comes to achieving what we want. And it comes down to courage. It comes down to being brave. Terence McKenna said that nature loves courage. And it will show that it loves courage by removing impossible obstacles. If you dare to dream the impossible dream, life won't grind you under, it will lift you up. And this is how magic is done. This is the alchemical goal that all the great speakers spoke about. This is it. This is the willingness, the ability to hurl yourself into the abyss to discover that it is just a feather bed and it will catch you. And if you are courageous and you seek adventure, life will conspire to help you. You've got this idea, paranoia, and there's this word pronoia. The universe is working its magic to make your dreams happen. Bit better than the paranoia version, right? So one of these ways is getting out of our zone. And we can explore adventure through changing up on the menu. When we choose something new, we can watch a new thing on Netflix that we wouldn't normally check out. But of course, the real adventure comes from leaving where you are and going out of your zone of comfort, out there into the world, into the unknown, something that we're able to do again now. And as we sort of capture that essence, I want you all to think and begin to allow a bubbling up of a place that you'd want to go to, because you've got to go there to know there. They say we don't travel to move around, we travel to be moved. So think of a place that you would fly overseas to, that you would be moved when you were there. I want it to be a place that we all would have heard of in case we have to share it, so no niche little villages. And I want to talk about some of the amazing things that happened, because when I went traveling, I went on this string of adventures and I took my backpack and a bag full of magic tricks and I was out there, set me free amid the world. And I made some friends, I made some incredible friends, some of which are still very dear to me in my life right now. And one of them, one of my best friends in the world I met, his name's Gus. And I met Gus, I'll show you a picture of him in a minute, but we met in Cambodia and I was on a beach and I was doing magic tricks one evening and he was gravitating towards the shrills and the gasps and the shrieks of the magic reactions. And we made friends and he asked me, teach me, I want to learn. So I did what any good magician does. I said, go and learn some tricks on your own, and if you come back and show me them and I approve, and I'll share my secrets. And sure enough, we've become really good friends. And when I got back from this 6-month trip, it coincided with his trip to London and around Europe. And he ended up moving up the road. And every day we'd meet up and we'd hang out and we would go to the gym and then we'd burn a few and then he'd go to work and I'd carry on, do some gigs and do my thing. And we were just like in our mid to late 20s and having a great time. And eventually, like 2 years after that, traveling around Europe, and we went to Southeast Asia on a big trip and eventually moved back here. And became housemates, and like his office, well, my office is his old bedroom, okay? But he spent the next 2.5 years saving up meticulously. He got a job at Macquarie Bank or NAB or something like this, and he was in there, and they looked after him, but it was eating him away because he'd sensed this big adventure. He realized that his best self was when he was out there exploring the edges. And he saved up. And he stacked the cash, and he would come home, and I'd be hustling, trying to make ends meet as an unknown, self-employed magician in a new city. And he'd be coming back and earning it, and I had a sense of joy, but I was broke, and he had some money, but he was sad. And I could tell that sometimes he would be tearful, and he would come out of his room, and it was eating him away, but he knew that this bigger goal was at the end of it. And anyway, eventually I dropped him at the airport, and he flew off, and then he sent me this picture. So yeah, dreams happen, and there he is, chilling. And while he was there, and we had a few Skypes and FaceTimes, and I could just tell, and it made me jealous, because I was all the way over here in this beautiful place, but I was hustling and grinding, and I felt like I needed to escape again. But I lived vicariously through this guy. So while we all think of our own adventures, who has one in mind? Do we have a place? We have? I'm hoping everybody has got one in mind. Good, because I need somebody to come and join me real brief. Let's have a little look. I would like an assistance. Would you mind joining? Yeah. Would you come up? What's your name? Julianne. Give her Julianne a round of applause. She's going to share her adventure with us. Julianne, I'd like you out about here for me. And what I'd like from you, if you don't mind, is to think about this place that you'd really love to go to, okay? And wherever this happens to be, all I'd like is you to begin to envision what that is and where that is. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get you to write it down. They say the first step towards making a dream come true is authorship, writing it down, okay? So if this was me, maybe I would write Copenhagen, because that's actually the last trip in Europe I went with Gus. So I want you to write the name nice and clear so you can show a weight of people. If everyone doesn't see it, that's okay. Hopefully we'll get there, but I just want enough people to be on side with you to make that count, okay? So wherever it is you wish to go, I don't want to see it. It takes the challenge out. I'll give you a bit of privacy. You got it? I'm going to show the gang. Feel free to step forward and show a few people. No whispering if you see it. You got it? A few of you seen it, a few confirmations. I'm going to get the pen back for a minute. And it's really important I don't catch this. Could you place that face down on top in line with the others so I cannot see? And what I am going to ask you to do, Julianne, is I just need 2 hands from you. So I need one hand out like this, the other hand on top like a secret. And I'm just, trying to rubber band that up. Cool, like a secret. And you did write a place, yeah? You didn't write, okay, thank you, cheers. A lot of pressure at work right now. Julianne. So I want you to imagine that you're on the way to the airport. And the first thing we see when we are at the airport is this huge screen up in front of us, right? And it has the gate numbers. It has the destination. And it has the flight times, the time of your flights on there. Mm-hmm. You're building this in your imagination, the most powerful tool we have. You look up, you see the time of that flight, hours and minutes. Here's my challenge. You tell me what time that flight is. I'll tell you where you're going.
Want me to tell you?
What time are you leaving?
7:12.
Wow, okay, very precise. And you realize that could have been any time at all, but you rolled with something that seemed appropriate to you, right? And while we're doing this, I was gesturing, something like this. And it's amazing what we pick up on, because I set my watch before we came over to a time. Can you tell everyone what time that is?
7:12.
7:12, right? We pick these things up. The communication is real. Continue to focus. Think about this place. Now, as we do this, turn to face me a little bit so you're more comfy. That's good. Eye contact can be difficult for all of us. It can be awkward. And it's one of the truest ways that we can communicate with each other. It's going to be awkward for me too. So in a moment, I want to lock eyes with you. Mm-hmm. It might take 5, it might take 10 seconds. But while we do this, I just want to be present. And if you want to distract yourself in your mind only, you will need to know where you want to go. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Oh, have fun in Sicily. Is this right? You want to go to Sicily? Really? Yeah? Come on, give her a round of applause. Let's have a look. What do we got? Sicily. Sicily. As we said, the first step towards making it true is writing it down. Your trip has already begun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have an amazing time. Woo! Wow. Sicily. I've never been, but I would love to go. It sounds mafioso. Go and rewalk the Godfather paths, yeah? Go and visit the movie spots. So getting back to Gus, actually, like he was over on this trip and he was having this world of a time, and I think about 6 months in, it was his birthday yesterday, actually, and he was FaceTiming me, and we're having these catch-ups, and sometimes I feel guilty because he'd interrupt my present moment with his show-off adventure, and we'd have a little chat on screen, and eventually, as time went on, we saw more of the pictures evolve, and then I got a phone call from his cousin, and it's one of those calls that no one wants to make, let alone receive. And sadly, Gus was in an accident when he was in Mexico, and he didn't survive it. And it sucks, man, it really does. But the first thing I did when I found that out was book a flight, because we can't let the adventure die with the adventurer, right? And all of us have that adventurer in us. And all of us have moments every day that kills that part of us in some way. And I just think we should all take a moment to remember those that we've lost on their journey, to be the hero, to explore, to be the adventurer, and do it in their honor, because we owe it to them. So to those guys. But one of the ways we can overcome this, one of the ways that we can bring this joy, bring this wonder back, despite the pain, despite the difficulty, is by trying your luck. And luck, to me, luck is your flirtation with the universe. Okay, we said, yeah, wonder is your romance between you and your life. But when you try your luck, you are cheekily nudging that door to see if it opens. I want to see what's on the other side of this door. I want to try my luck and see if she will share her phone number. I want to see if I will get that pay rise. I'm going to try my luck and just find out if this is a potential for me as this new career path, or if I can go along with this person, or if we can, whatever it is, when you try your luck, new levels of magic begin to open. And I think we should try ours, because there is one little symbol of luck and potential. It's one of these. And when I roll the dice, I try to envision 6 competing potentials battling it out for their right to undergo the formality of occurring. It's almost like there is an invisible hand that guides and allows one out of all the other opportunities to be the one that happens. So we're going to play around with this dice. And I need a gentleman who might be feeling lucky. And I would like your help, please. So would you help me out? Yeah, what's your name?
Ignatius.
Ignatius. Adam, lovely to meet you. Pleasure. Come and join me over here. I want you right about here for me, mate. So, Ignatius, if I was to give the dice a shake and ask you what number was on the dice, there's no way you could know other than guess, right? Because I don't know. But the second I have a look, you have a portal into this truth. You could ask me. You could ask me to keep a straight face while you read me. That's one way of doing it. This is what I want to try with you. So I'm going to give it to you. I want one hand wrapped around, and I want you to shake it, and it feels good. And whenever you're done, let it settle. Give it a nice shake. And when you've got that, I want you to just let it settle and have a peek through and see what number you've rolled to. Yeah? You happy with that?
Yep.
So as you focus on this number, think about it, and I want a poker face from you. This means no reaction. Stone face. He's good at this, like a statue. Might be more challenging than we expected. As you focus on this number, don't give it away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Backwards. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a 4?
Yep.
This is a 4. Brilliant. Okay, good, good. Go again for me, mate, please. There we go. Go again. It's a 1 in 6. Same thing. Have you shaked it again? Did you see what it is?
Yep.
Focus on this, whatever it is. I want you to just think about this and continue to keep a straight face as you do this. I want you to read the numbers out the way that I did. And all I'm going to do is listen, okay? So don't give it away. And just to make sure I don't grill you, I'm going to make eye contact with this very beautiful gentleman over here. Got my eye on you, mate. Focus on it. I just want to hear the numbers, 1 through 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And backwards.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you just, whether it's true or not, say it's not a 3?
It's not a 3.
You just say it's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
Okay, okay. Close your eyes for a moment. You got that? Yeah? Open eyes, loud and clear. What number was it?
4.
4, brilliant. Okay, we got it. Well done. You're killing it. This is it. Now, before we go, while we're on the topic of trying our luck, I'm going to try mine right now. I'm going to write the number before you roll it. If it doesn't work out, at least you'd love me for trying, right? Let's go. So actually, just briefly look at these amazing stained glass windows because... Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm happy with that. We'll place this down. I want you to give it a shake for me, please, buddy. Give it a nice shake, and I want you to let it settle for me. And whenever you've done that, I want you to just have a little look and see what you've got. Are you happy with what you got?
Yep.
I want you to remember that. I want you to promise me you will not change your mind. Give it a nice little shake. We're going to take it back. Here we go. There we go. Gone. And I'll nick this away from you. Good. And you can take a seat. Thank you. Give a round of applause. I appreciate it. Because I want everybody to shake that in their mind. I want everybody to shake up a dice and allow it to tumble and bounce and eventually settle. And as it settles, you look at your number up here on the screen. There it is, okay? And as we look at our number, as we see this up here, as we see ours and focus on yours, this is your homework. These are the 6 points we've traveled. What did you get?
1.
Yeah, create novelty. How about you, mate? You got 5, seek adventure, yeah? Lady at the back? Create novelty. What did you get, sir, in the middle? Be present. Awesome. How about you?
Seek adventure.
Seek adventure. What did you get?
Be present.
Be present. How about you, young lady? What did you get? 6. Try your luck. I think you're going to be good at that. And speaking of trying your luck, I tried my luck earlier on when I wrote a number down. Obviously, I have no idea if this was going to line up. Just out of interest, what was your number? 2. 2, thank you. Okay, okay. Woo! Oh, wow. You've been absolutely phenomenal. And I've had an amazing time with you, but our time's not over yet. As we all think of our homework for today, I want to share a story with you about overcoming setbacks. And a bit vulnerable for me to put this out there, but I trust you. You guys have been great. And it goes something like this. Like it's a story about a magician and poet. And it goes, pick a card, any card, take it out, and show it. Make sure the whole room sees, as long as I don't know it. In fact, sorry, here's a pen. If you could just sign your name and blow it. You got it? So this is the point of the trick where the card's chosen, it's signed. We're going to lose it back in the pack. As I riffle down, please say stop.
Stop.
Right about there. And I'll place these on top. Could that be any more fair? And I'll be honest, the point of this question is to shift attention away from this direction because it's the precise moment in time I control this selection to a desired location. It's called misdirection. And it's not as fair as you think it is, because when you put your card back, I kept a little break where my pinky is and performed a move called the pass, which is a way to swap the top half with the bottom and the bottom with the top. And I give the deck a couple of flips and a shuffle and mix, and I'll probably get in trouble for this, but these are not genuine shuffles, they're tricks. And now the card you chose is in the first position, and this magician is one step ahead on his mission. Who wants to hear the rest of the story? Yeah? Good, because on this particular night I was killing it. I had the crowd on side, they loved me, it was awesome, I felt good. Many years ago, but I was so happy because the card had been signed, I knew exactly where it was, I didn't know what it was, but it enabled me to focus on the performance, right, and be present. And right then, this big gent in the front, he stood up and he said, "Let me shuffle." I tried to ignore him. Let me shuffle. This is not an open forum. Let me shuffle. And I just smiled at him softly, but he reached out and he snatched the cards right off me. And he was bigger than me. I was still pretty young. And to him, this was just some silly fun. But for me, I put hours on this. Thousands of clips, books, lectures devoured on this, just for a coward like this to ruin the moment. I said, "Mate, I'm not your opponent. I just want you to feel this elusive emotion. Wonder and awe can leave you jaw dropped frozen." And right then his big mouth opened and he said, "Don't cry, I don't mean to mess your trick up, but I got a trick for you. 52 card pickup." And he threw the cards up in the air and they rained over me. It was like confetti. And I was sitting there like, where do I even begin? And I could hear chuckles and giggles and it was just humiliating. And I appreciate banter, but you don't tell a 5-year-old the truth about Santa. You let them believe in the tooth fairy because growing up is already too scary. And this is the part about childhood that's so tragic. At a certain age, we stop believing in the magic. And now this grown-up's trying to mess my trick up with a joke about 52 pickup. And what he doesn't know is a good magician keeps a trick up their sleeve for this kind of hiccup. A plan B, a backup. Before we open the pack up, let's pause for a minute and back up. You chose a card out of 52 potentials. And what we're about to do is beyond coincidental. It is my time for redemption. So I just need the whole room's undivided attention in your biggest voice, loud and clear. Please name your card for the whole crowd to hear. The Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts. And moments like this are why I persist in convincing you all that magic exists. Because as we reach the crescendo of performance and verse, and we spread through these cards, and one is reversed. You see, wonder and awe and childlike fascination are all products of our imagination. And it is your appreciation that is my validation. So I hope this has earned a standing ovation. Queen of Hearts. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you are awestruck. We are all the authors of our own story, and we have the power to create wonder and bring it back into the world. Because if there is ever going to be an emotion that pushes our business, our personal lives, our connections, and our hope in the right direction, it's wonder. Thank you for having me. I'm Adam Axford. I had a great time with you. Thank you. Cheers.